Well, apparently Cam is coming forward now with, like, new evidence that he's had, presumably this entire time, about Yandere Dev.
What if he says he's
Legally.
really sorry and won't do it again?
He already says he feels bad, and then he quickly segues into, but this isn't going to be public anyway.
It's like half your age plus 7, and I know
a colloquialism people say around a real Aiden. Did he make another apology?
Wait.
Okay. I praise God for the A-logs in my community. I've just had a look at this. This is a Reddit post from a year ago. The Osana subreddit. It's like a Yandere simulator snark subreddit, okay? Alex admitted to asking for... Okay. The truth about CameronF305. Is Cameron proven a rapist? Well, kinda. We tried looking into this in VC the other night. Okay. Well, if you go to the Diesel video, yeah, he kind of admits to it. And then he's having a conversation with the girl where he sounds like it was just like incredibly pushy. Incredibly pushy at the very least, okay? He admits to trying to kiss her for like 5 minutes while she's saying she doesn't want to kiss him before they eventually have sex. He claims that she's squirming. She's claiming that she's hitting him as this is going on before he eventually stops having sex with her. She's 16, he's 19. I mean, for people who've just come in, this is going to be the most damning.
Well, in a legal standpoint.
From a legal standpoint, I was saying no, and I was scared, and that I didn't want to.
No, just in the sense of us having, and that can be argued because
Hello.
Yo, you wanted to talk? What's up?
You, like every day, okay, for the last, I don't know however long, have, like, atted me and been like, your co-host has arrived. What's your take on this,
Because
stuff?
they crash out. Oh, I know nothing about it.
19-year-old boy, well, 19-year-old man, 16-year-old girl. You watch him?
Wait, hold on. Is the argument that the rape is statutory?
Everyone kind of accepts that the rape would be statutory, I think. The argument is kind of over whether the rape is, like, through forced violation of consent.
Yeah. So let's assume. Okay, so if we're assuming that both these people are both of them are the same age,
they're not.
Would it be considered?
Yes.
But if they are, hypothetically, would it still be okay?
I
so
think
it was like So the allegation is she didn't want it, because the thing is with 19 and 16, I wouldn't personally go there, but the 19 and 16 is like a gap where it's like.
It's just beyond the border of being perhaps, like, understandable. 19 and 17 would be like, but 16 and 19?
What's the rule? It's like half your age plus 7, and
that's a colloquialism people say around a real Aiden.
No, and I know there's room for deviation because, like, the gap of maturity is, like, way different. The gap of maturity is, like, way different. Depending on, like, the younger you are.
Mm-hmm.
But if an 18 if an 18-year-old, because this would be what? A high school sophomore and, like, somebody who is a high school sophomore and somebody who is either a freshman in college, or I had 19, there were 19-year-old seniors in my high school.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think that's inherently statutory, like, if we're being real. 19 and 16 is, like, could totally be, like, if it's not forceful or anything, like 19 and 16 could be like, yeah, it's like kind of odd, but it's like not.
That goes
it's like
beyond what Romeo Juliet laws allow for usually.
Okay, I have like one stand. Okay, I have like one. What is it?
Usually
I have like
Romeo Juliet covers 2 years, 2-year age gaps.
This is gonna be like an optics nightmare, but I don't really like care about the law when we're talking about this. Like, I care about like we're having a moral discussion,
well, you still
right?
And
like in Yeah, like in California, I'm pretty sure it's illegal if a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old wanted to fuck, right? Or an 18-year-old and a 17. So like the law differs place to place, et cetera, et cetera. So I set like a general standard, and we're just kind of assessing this like morally. People like to flip flop between like legality
that's
in
true.
like moral conversations.
I agree.
And it's like that's not what I'm looking at here.
The problem is,
but
this is a go on. So I'll lay out the entire situation and just give your take, okay? So 19, 16. They get in contact because this girl is like groomed by Yandere Dev, okay? He's asking for like lewd pictures from her. He's going through defending Yandere Dev through the entire thing. That's how they get in contact, okay? They meet up once, nothing happens. They meet up a second time, they have sex. The only reason why they're in contact is because she's already kind of been like taken into a conversation with Yandere Dev, who's obviously like in his 30s, and Cameron's like an associate or like close friend with Yandere Dev. They trauma bond over, and then they have a encounter with dubious consent.
Okay, so did this guy meet Yandere Dev when he was a kid?
Don't know.
Okay. Whether it's wrong or not for me is like, is if she didn't like, or whether it's wrong or not for me is if she didn't want it. And like, do we have like, I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying she needs to have proof, right? Because I don't expect somebody, people like to like, oh, well, it didn't happen, you have no evidence. Like, yeah, typically when you get raped, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of like, you're going to have evidence, maybe you had sex, but it will come down to he said, she said. So I'm not saying I'm not going to listen to her story if there's no proof, right? But like the question is, just by virtue, just having listened, there's audio.
Well, they have a conversation, which is this, where I don't think he realizes it's being recorded, and she's asking him questions about it.
Wait, Dickers, you think 2 years is the norm?
What?
That's what QQ. The problem I have when you can't have consent conversations with British people, it's just like, and I mean this with all due respect, you guys are like totally mindful. I've seen like British people call people like nonces over like a 1 year, over like a 1 year age gap. British people are just like really stupid when it comes to age gaps. They think somebody's like a pedophile over like a 3 year age gap.
What? The age gap in particular? What? I don't care about the age gap. I care about the age gap at this age. I feel like you've read I feel like you've read like a message from QQ, not really understood the context of it. I think QQ is talking specifically about Romeo and Juliet laws.
19 and 16 is not a nonce, bro. Like, let's be just like so real. Can we just be like super real? Like,
yeah, I said earlier he's not a pedophile.
He's not even like adjacent to one. He's not even like pushing the line. He's like, it's like, dude.
No, I don't think so. No, I didn't say he was.
Okay. All right, let's hear this audio.
So QQ was saying that he doesn't know where I'm getting the 2 year age gap thing from for Romeo and Juliet laws. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that. The way that I've heard it working before, maybe I'm reading about a particular state or particular nation, and then I'm applying that onto everything, and I'm misremembering. But it's like a bracketed kind of like lowering, where the
not every state has Romeo and Juliet, and I think the law is different, which I think is kind of stupid. I don't think if you do something that would make you a sex offender or not in like one state, I don't think that should like not make you or make you one if you drive an hour. Like, I think that's like really stupid how we do that.
It's a state registry, right?
Yeah, I think when we're like establishing standards for like age of consent, Romeo and Juliet, I don't think it should be like a state by state basis. It should be like flat, like throughout the whole country. But
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's go.
He said that you did nothing wrong?
Well, in a legal standpoint.
From a legal standpoint, I was saying no, and I was scared, and that I didn't.
Thank you,
Are we sure she's 16?
Yeah.
Are we sure she's 16?
That's kind of corroborated by everyone.
She sounds like she's like 11.
You think she might have lied about her age to make herself older?
Well, now the second she opened her mouth, I was like, "It's not a big deal." I'm listening to this. I'm like, "Yep, he did it. He did it. Send this guy to prison.
No,
Send him to jail."
I feel like...
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I feel like
joking.
she's
She sounds
articulating
really
stuff
young.
like that. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think she's just kind of got a high voice.
Yeah.
I do know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
Want to.
No, just in the sense of us having sex. And that can be argued because once I heard you say stop, I put you down. You were being nonverbal.
I don't think I was.
I'm telling you.
'Cause
Maybe I wasn't hearing correctly, but I'm telling you that I did not hear the word stop, and until I did, I put you down. And I felt awful because you were like, once you like started like squirming a bit, I felt like bad.
Squirming? You're gonna call it squirming? I was hitting you.
Were you?
Oh my god.
Okay, that's a just wait. Pause. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's already I got a red. Because if I had somebody and then later she comes to me and says, "I was saying no the whole time. I was hitting you." It wouldn't be like I don't think that's what happened.
No,
if
you
I don't
fucking
remember that
weren't. I
happened,
didn't hear that at
I get
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be super defensive. I'd be super defensive. I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking
Dude,
about?"
your
You're just
survival
lying.
instincts would kick in, surely. If you feel like, whoa, no way, you know?
But no, just to be charitable, any way you would like expect someone to react to something in like the real world, that's just not always the case for how people act
Yeah.
online. So maybe this guy's like weird or something and genuinely doesn't know how to react if I'm being like super
Yeah.
charitable, but no, that's like a huge red flag for like a reaction to
And
this.
the other thing that I did think earlier to be charitable to him is it might be a thing of like, you're claiming that you were. I don't remember hearing that at all, and you're questioning your own recollection. Like, was I so in the moment that I maybe was I like confusing noises? Like, maybe that thought process starts going, and that leads to a pause, and maybe a
It would be like if she was saying I was giving nonverbal cues I didn't want it. Okay, that would be like one thing where it could be like up to interpretation. You could kind of be like, I didn't really notice that at first. That would be a thing if it's like totally nonverbal that maybe he didn't notice at first. When it's a claim of I was hitting you and saying no, that's not like an up to interpretation. That either happened or it didn't. You don't like think back and remember that. You either call her a liar or you admit. There's no like in between on that.
Now the problem is apparently she calls him a rapist and then rescinds that and then calls him a rapist again later. But to me, this audio recording kind of seals the deal.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter the label that she's using. She could be like, she's obviously like the one who's been affected by this. She could be emotional. She probably had a connection to this guy at one point. So how she wants to label and interpret it is if she's inconsistent about the actual word or label itself, that's irrelevant to me. Is the story inconsistent? Are the facts of the matter inconsistent? Whether or not it's rape, we can interpret based on the facts of the story.
I agree, but I think outside of this conversation, she's only ever given labels to other people. At least so far as presented in this video. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just why I say that. Also, Gamma said earlier, if this is the girl who was groomed by Yandere Dev, she might be younger. Is that like an intuition or like a half-remembered thing, or can you send me something on that? I'd appreciate it.
That sounds like he's uncertain. I wouldn't go with that.
No, I'm not going with it. I'm just wondering if you could send me something. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can. I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't intending to do something bad to you, and I feel bad about it. But that's between us, and that's not going to be public.
Now the thing here that he says,
dude.
I feel bad about it, but that's between us, and it's not going to be public. It's just like, because he tries to do this to Diesel earlier in the video. Before Diesel is going to release his video a year ago, he says, I don't want you to talk about me, and I don't want you to talk about the girl's called Jelly, I think. People call her Anne. I don't want you to talk about me or Jelly at all. I would not feel comfortable with you releasing this information. And it's kind of like
Well, he's also
tough shit, right?
he's talking about his intention.
Mm-hmm.
The facts that she's just established, if true, that would be rape.
Yeah.
Your intention, like what he should be doing it right now, if he didn't do it, what a logical person would be doing, even what an emotional, non-logical person would be doing, is saying this did not happen. Not, well, I didn't mean to, like, I didn't mean to keep going or whatever. If she's explicitly saying she was trying to hate you and was saying no, like, you if you didn't do it, you should be refuting that notion. You shouldn't be saying, well, my intentions were good. Like, that's a huge fucking red flag in and of itself.
We're going to get to stuff in a little bit. I think it just happens after this. But he already says he feels bad, and then he quickly segues into, but this isn't going to be public anyway. It seems like he's trying to appease him, or appease her, and say, maybe, damn, I didn't realize that. Wow, he's not admitting to anything, right? But he's trying to keep a lid on things. Because if you go in there and deny it, when she knows what happened, she might go public with it. I think is his mental state.
Sure.
Yeah, well.
Also, the other thing too is, right, when he says he didn't intend to, he might be serious, but what that actually means is maybe going into it he didn't intend to. But there are like some instances of rape where, like, if they try to pull out during the act of sex, the rapist is like so into it they don't allow them to stop, and then it becomes rape, right? So maybe he didn't go into it with the intention. Maybe it started out as a consensual act of sex when he says I didn't intend to, but he got so caught up in the moment that he fucking committed that he it's not even caught. Like, that sounds like I'm not excusing it. Like it sounds like he couldn't stop himself. And maybe like, cause like I heard what is it? I was watching, what's it fucking called? JCS, and this woman killed somebody in the moment, and she kept saying, but it wasn't intentional or anything. And what she really meant was she didn't really go into it with the intent to kill him. Yeah. But then it happened kind of in the moment.
That intent can resolve in the moment. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck. The thing that I'm thinking of, at least from what I've kind of like heard or read or whatever about young guys like this, he was 19 at the time, like committing sexual assault, is you think, okay, you go for a sexual advance, you get pushed away, and you think, oh, they're just saying no for a silly reason. They really want to. And you think if you can keep pushing that line, eventually they'll enjoy it. It's a very, very, it's a very immature way of like looking at sex. But it's like, especially, I think this is where, for me, if I could give charity to 16 and 19. I think I could find it grim and kind of like weird, but like, But with this dynamic here, even be, this makes the 16, 19 thing a lot worse.
This has nothing to do with the age gap. If she was 19, my assessment of this would be like, no, I missed the beginning part of what you're saying.
Is your assessment no worse given that she's a 16-year-old kid?
No, it's rape. It's rape. If she was 19 right now, it would be just as rapey in my eyes. Yeah, but
at least it's a peer if they're both 19 and not like an older guy who maybe you want to impress or maybe you feel like.
Why would that? What? That wouldn't make it less rapey if she's saying no and hitting him.
You might assume that a 19-year-old might have had an intimate sexual experience with another partner before. This may well have been this girl's first encounter.
It doesn't matter if it's your first or 50th encounter. What you would learn from your other encounters is to set boundaries. And if she's saying no, her boundaries are being set, but that's totally irrelevant because he doesn't care if we're to believe these allegations, and he kept going.
I know. It's just the thought of this happening to a 16-year-old kid versus a 19-year-old woman. It feels ever so slightly different. There's a certain bridge that's crossed between those two ages that I just feel is like, I feel differently about it.
They're both teenagers. I don't really feel that differently by the age gap. This is just rape. The age gap bears no relevance here.
Into determining guilt or whether it's something to be morally outraged about, I agree. But I'm talking purely about degree of how outraged.
No, I'd be if he was 20 and she was 35, I'd be just as angry.
Fair play. Okay.
A 19-year-old is a teenager?
I
Yes.
Bait, you're falling
Yes.
for the most obvious bait right now, Aiden.
what about
With your chat? I'm not so sure about that.
how I spent like 5 minutes?
Oh, this is important.
What about how I spent like 5 minutes telling you that I didn't want to kiss you, and then you wouldn't let me go? You.
Haven't we already been over this? Like, you know, I feel horrible about that, and it was only because I wanted to spend more time with you. I wasn't trying to force you to do something.
But you can't just act like you didn't do anything wrong.
That's the first thing I said to you. Like, like you said, I didn't do anything wrong in the sense of, like, anything illegal. And I, you know, in regards to the idea of us having sex. And that's all I was talking about. Not that between, and that's why I said, obviously, between us, I know I made mistakes.
Oh!
And I feel horrible for them. Because
Does he ever specify what these mistakes are?
He admits that he was trying to kiss her for 5 minutes, and she said that she didn't want to kiss him.
Okay, bro, you're getting too big for your
For 5 minutes?
That's what she said. Did you not hear?
Cant flock and tipped $5 Canadian through super
Maybe you
chat.
cut out. Maybe it cut
All
out for a
men have
sec.
the R gene.
What about how I spent like 5 minutes telling you that I didn't want to kiss you, and then you wouldn't let me go? You.
What the fuck?
Haven't we already...
Yeah. And his response to that is, haven't we already been over this? You already know I feel bad about this. Oh, my...
For 5 fucking minutes?
Yeah. So, there's not even a defense of, like, there wasn't a clear and obvious no. It's like, she didn't even want to kiss him. And it developed into something more. Like, whether she pushed him away or not when they started having sex seems immaterial to me. Right?
Yeah, but then it especially because like it, but also in terms of like his guilt, the fact that she was allegedly saying no and hitting him kind of is like a slam dunk in the sense like there's no room for like interpretation.
Yeah, true. Like she
on his end, there's no
eventually complied with it, or eventually wanted to, or changed her mind, or yeah. It seems like all throughout she's pretty consistent that she was saying no and she didn't want to have sex. And oh my god, his excuse for kissing her or trying to kiss her for 5 minutes is he just wanted to like spend time with her. Did you hear that, or did it cut out for you as well?
I think cut out. Well,
oh my god.
already been over this. Like, you know, I feel horrible about that, and it was only because I wanted to spend more time with you. I wasn't trying to force you to do something.
But you can't just act like you didn't.
Yeah. I've got no idea. That seems like a BS, like, excuse made up. Like, totally on the fly. I've got no idea what that even, like, means.
He's my age, right?
Sorry? He's your age, yeah.
Okay, he's 19. So this was not long ago.
1 second, say that.
This wasn't long ago if he's not 19.
No, I believe this happened like a year
It's
ago.
only a few months ago.
This happened like a year ago.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. It's... oh, man. It's pretty rough.
Does he deny her claim that... Does he ever deny the claim that she was like... Oh, I guess he said he didn't remember. But does he ever outright deny the claim she was like hitting him and saying no?
He denies that they even had sex now.
That's not what it... Huh?
Yeah. Not only has he consistently denied that the rape claim, okay? He now consistently denies that they even had sex.
But isn't... did I mishear? Were they not talking about sex at the beginning of this conversation?
Yeah, well, he claims that this is all because she blackmailed him into saying that he had sex with her. I'll walk you through that in a bit. Okay?
What?
I know. I know. Actually, the 16-year-old
Dude,
raped
what is
him.
wrong with this guy?
The 16-year-old mentally raped him into saying that he raped her. So, this is the question that I had, okay? Because if that is true, this entire conversation is acted out. If he wants us to believe that this is true, this entire conversation has to be acted out. Is Aiden dead or am I dead?
Okay, so isn't the whole point of blackmail? Wait, isn't the whole isn't the whole point of blackmail? I'm probably gonna leave for like a few minutes and then come back on my PC in a little bit. But isn't the whole point of blackmail? You have some it would be humiliating for them.
Yeah.
Got out there.
So you're kind of fucked.
Something from them, but isn't that
go
the
to your
purpose
PC, okay?
using,
Go to your PC.
Wait.
Literally, I can't hear a word you're saying, Aiden.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Wait. Okay. Let's see. I completely forgot the comparison. Okay. While we wait for Aiden to get back, or I don't know, maybe someone else can join. Let's go and try and finish some of this. Give you 5 minutes? Sure thing. I'll chat to you in a second, buddy. What is this? Deleted video. Whoa! Thank you so much. A deleted video from Cameron about Yandere Dev drama. If you recall... Okay, so let's take a look at this then. So if you remember, Diesel mentioned that Cameron had made and deleted videos about the Yandere Dev drama, where he was potentially trying to hide the fact that he had some kind of association, or had apparently spent a long time trying to kind of defend Yandere Dev's character, or like at the very least kind of massage the impression as it came out in the public. Thankfully, I don't know who uploaded this. This is a archive link of the video that he made. So let's have a gander.
An insane period of it's been an insane period of time, to say the least. I don't want to waste much time in this video. I'd like to cut right to the points, but first off, if you don't know, there have been a couple people who've decided to throw some really serious claims and allegations against me. I want to make myself clear immediately and tell you that these allegations are false. I have a lot of receipts. I have proof.
Okay.
This may end up being a long video. I hope you'll be willing to hear my side. First, again, I just want to make myself very clear. I did not Rexa.
I mean, the only...
Bro, he's got allegations against another girl. Okay.
reason I don't talk about it is because A, I don't want anyone to know what happened and that I consented to it, and B, it wasn't like forcible rape, so I don't feel like I can come on here and say, if you have this evidence, that's it. If you don't have this evidence, go get it. I don't know, make
I do not support Yandere Dev, nor am I working for Yandere Simulator. I never dated Anne. Have I ever sexually assaulted you, or hurt you, or raped you, or done anything nefarious to you?
No.
Have we ever...
That does not sound like a confident... Oh my god. That's like a... No. Oh my god. Oh, that does not do a lot to convince me. Oh my god.
Never dated Anne. Have I ever sexually assaulted you, or hurt you, or raped you, or done anything nefarious to you?
No.
Maybe? Have I got like a huge misread?
Have we ever dated? Are we dating?
No. No.
Or try to cover up Yandere Dev's actions with Anne in the background? By the end of this video, you will see all my proof, hear my side of the story, and I hope you will hear me out.
Okay. So I guess let's go to this. If we go past, okay, Ali MC, part 1, my experience, her fabrications, and manipulation. Okay. Let's go, okay, 15652.
Hey, it's been an insane period supporting him on Patreon. I'll show you the digital receipts on screen, like I said, because after an email was shared on Reddit, a lot of people accused me of still supporting him in the background, which was not true at all. I'll get into my honest feelings about it all in a moment, but for now, I want to address the allegations related to Anne and Ali MCC. When I extended
I don't know, she sounds like she was caught off guard. Okay, that's fair, that's fair. I don't know this for definite, though.
my hand to reach out to her to get the full story, she was initially rude and reluctant to even speak with me. I'm pretty sure this was entirely based on the lie that I was told by Alex because of the comments I made. And once I was finally able to speak with her, we had a mostly pleasant conversation. I definitely didn't like her, not because she was coming out about Alex, but because...
Okay, so this is the same girl then. Wait, is it?
She wasn't respecting the wishes or privacy of Anne, and I'd wanted to include certain things that were going to muddy the water on...
Okay, so Ali MC is the person who spoke to Jelly, the alleged victim. Okay. On
the truth of the situation. Like, unconfirmed events that I had been told were unconfirmed that would probably be easy for Alex to debunk. This is why her video went from 2 hours to 40 minutes. From there, things were mostly cordial. Right. I was still fishy about her overall, just based on what Anne was telling me about her, and how she reacted to Anne's requests. Well...
So he was in direct communication. Okay.
Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. As of a couple days ago, Ali, without Anne's permission, included a lot of things about her, lies about her, and child porn in a document. I'm not making this up. And then blackmailed Anne by saying, I'll remove it if she admits she created it. When she...
Okay, the photo came from her own Google Drive that she had linked and made its way to the public. As I said, I will take it down if she would like to admit that she was sharing CP of other kids. This Ali MC person is a totally wretched fucking individual. What the fuck? Okay.
She didn't create it. I'll let Anne speak on this later in the video, but it looks like my suspicions were correct. And
wait, so he made this video with Anne? What is the date on this video? (2024). What's the date of their alleged well, what's the date where they allegedly had sex? One sec. Let's have a look at the Google Drive. Or the Google Doc, rather. Okay. Let's have a look into this, then. Try and match up some of the timelines. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Relationship with the minor. Okay. So, in the time after Cameron split with Yandere Dev, he and Jelly would form a friendship and bond over their interactions with Dev. Cameron tells Diesel he went to see family and had to drive out of state, where he met up with Jelly after Thanksgiving 2023. So, November 23rd, 2023. Okay. So, this was archived in February, 3 months later. And in fact, it looks as though this person created their account so that they could upload it. So when was this video made? Okay. I don't know. Ah. Oh. Wait. Is this his... Dude. Fucking hell. So this was uploaded the day after he published the video. So is this his account? Okay. Initially, it was pitched as a way to interview Jelly, but it would later be included in Cameron's video response to Crex's allegations. This video was later unlisted and then eventually privated. Sometime in December 2023, Cameron meets Jelly in person again. And according to Cameron, they have sex. Okay. It was pitched as a way to interview Jelly, but it would be included in Cameron's video. Okay. So the interview apparently happens here, the first time that they meet up. And then they have sex in December, which is the second time that they meet up. Okay. By the end of December, Jelly was publicly reinforcing her claims that Cameron did not rape her and makes public posts defending Cameron. Okay. So, no clue why this is a rumor. It's a stupid one. Cameron hasn't been weird to me at all. Also, hello from my mobile account. In defense of Cameron, by January of 2024, Jelly had confirmed to Cameron that she had lied to Ali about accusations towards him. So, okay, in defense of Cameron, Cameron has been used and manipulated a lot during this. He's been fully supportive of me while I've made decisions that risk his credibility and career. So I'm going to clear things up. Cameron did not give Alex tips on anything that would make him look better. Just told Alex not to victim blame me, or make me look bad, and to call out the people harassing me on his behalf. I mean, I don't know if this is quite true, because this goes to like stuff that they know about his intention. But ultimately, he has said that he is kind of acting to try and make Yandere Dev look better in certain things. Like he says, the only reason I want him to do an interview, or he's pushing for him to have an interview with people, is that he thinks it'll make him look better in the public square, even if it goes bad for him. Okay. This is in defense of me, not to help Alex. Cameron did not have access to the Google Doc, but because he's my friend, I showed him some snippets to see what he thought. I did not intend for Alex's comments and coaching to be made public. Cameron didn't know until Archie posted it on X, which is when Cameron simply replied with fair and stopped defending the statement. Reminder that you are all outsiders. Stop judging so quickly. You are all ignorant. Not your own fault, but be aware that you really do know nothing. 3 upvotes, 17 comments. Okay. At the end of January, Jelly reaches out to Diesel, accusing Cam of harassment. Goes on to say he isn't a predator, but not to trust Cameron on his opinions of Crexer, Cameron's ex-roommate. Says the dick pic was fake, but alleges that he showed his erection under clothes. Fucking hell. Okay. So Cameron says, in January of 2024, not to be a pest or anything, but why did you claim it was me? And then Anne says, Ali was making a follow-up vid and needed something against you, but you really didn't do anything wrong, so had to do a bit of lying. Sorry. Cameron says, all good, I guess. Anne says, nah, it's not. I should have told her to screw off, but she really guilted me and turned r/Osana against me last time, so I didn't want to piss her off. But you didn't deserve that, and I feel really bad. So then Anne messages, did you like his apology? I thought he did a pretty good job. I told him to wear a hat. Hey. I had a bit of a falling out with Cameron. Resentment's been building for a while since he forced me to kiss him. It isn't sexual or anything, but he tried to do a lot with me that Crexer claimed he did to her. I'm starting to believe her. He made me think I was overreacting the way he did with her. And I'd just be careful. Not at all saying he's a predator or anything, but just don't take what he'd said about her as fact. She's 100% a psycho, but Cameron can be really manipulative and good at downplaying things. Also, he reinitiated stuff with me 9 times and even recorded some of it. I don't know if he deleted them, like I asked him to. Plus, the dick pic wasn't his name, but it was in his underwear, and he was showing me. So this is in when? This is the end of January. I guess that lines up with the dates, I suppose. Okay. Throughout the end of January, wait. Did you like his apology? I thought he did a pretty good job. I told him to wear a hat. That was January 1st, 2024. Did he make another apology? Okay. Throughout the end of January, Jelly frequently posts frequently and disparagingly about Cameron, letting a man lie and get away with it. You tried to turn 3 girls against each other. Not great. 4, if you count the wonderful Crexer. I suppose 5 with Ali. Broski, it keeps going ooh. Why the fuck is he in cahoots? If he's got an association with Yandere Dev, why the fuck is he, like, in cahoots with all of these people who are making hit pieces on him? You know what? I'm going to answer my own question. Against Yandere Dev. Okay, so in September 2023, Cameron made a post public splitting from Yandere Dev and Yandere Simulator. Okay. That makes sense then, I suppose. Fucking hell. If you had a bad / illegal sexual experience with Cameron F305, my DMs are open. I'll believe you. Okay. So, Cameron and Anne / Jelly discuss sex. Just in case this shows anything. Okay. What the fuck is this? Okay. I am going to cut this off pretty quickly if this goes into TOS territory, but here we are.
He said that you did nothing wrong?
Well, in a legal standpoint.
From a legal standpoint, I was saying no, and I was scared, and that I didn't want to.
No, just in the sense of us having sex, and that can be argued because once I heard you say stop, I put you down. You were being nonverbal.
I don't...
Okay, so this is the other stuff.
To the idea of us having sex. And obviously, like, after the fact, once I put you down, like, I realized what was happening. Like, there was a reason I put you down.
Okay, so this is the stuff that we'd already looked at. Nice. Cameron admits to flashing Anne / Jelly.
What do you mean, tell you the truth?
That you flashed her?
It's not what... It's not what the fuck happened. It's not what the fuck happened.
Okay, what happened then?
Showed her my underwear. It was funny. She was asking about it. It wasn't like that, and I'm tired of it. It wasn't like that. It wasn't fucking like it. I was trying to clear that up, and it wasn't the pressure. I was just trying to fucking clear that up, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked about it. The only reason I asked about it is because of the conversation we had earlier. I just wanted to clear it up. I'm sorry. I didn't want you thinking weird shit about me because it's not fucking true. It's not.
So what is he admitting to doing? It's not like that. It's not like that. I was only showing my underwear. I mean, if you want to show off your underwear, God knows why you would. But clearly your cock is there. Why not just show, like, the side of your leg? This is not looking good.
Oh, who the fuck I am. Specifically fucking avoided that shit because of that fucking reason. I didn't fucking like her like that. And I'm tired of fucking people saying that shit because it's not fucking
I didn't like her like that. You had sex, bro.
true.
His claim is, I was showing off my underwear because it was a joke, and she was asking about it.
Sorry. Just don't. I'm so tired of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't bring it up again. Okay? being me telling you the truth.
That you flashed her?
It's not what... It's not what the fuck happened. It's not what the fuck happened.
Okay, what happened then?
Showed her my underwear. It was funny. She was asking about it. It wasn't like that, and I'm fucking...
Okay. Not looking good. Okay. I'm not sure why Cameron is claiming he saw me down there. I'm too insecure about that stuff. He never saw, and I don't really know what to do. Okay? So, and I didn't say anything bad about it. Jelly says, you didn't see it. Cameron says, I was trying to be complimentary towards you, and I was shitting on Crexer. Dude. I don't know what he means here. Why did you want to see me for spring break? Cam says, to hang out. I'm reconsidering. Jelly says, oh, you're reconsidering. Def not because I said no. See me for spring break. Emeritards, when is spring break? Oh, I've got one in the call. Hi, Ed.
Hello. What'd you just call me?
An emeritard. When's spring break?
It differs, but generally it's anywhere from... Typically it's, I think, anywhere from late March to April to sometimes I think some places do it like early May.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense of the timeline. Everyone who's who's saying spring in chat, okay? Ban them.
I mean it's not like it's one designated period of time. It's whenever the respected school or district or whatever decides to do it, and it's in spring. It varies anytime in spring.
Okay.
Unless you're asking about Australia, then I think it's in our winter. So
why would I be asking emeritards?
Well, because you asked a question where there's like only really one possible answer to, unless we're counting the southern hemisphere.
Okay,
Then there's like two possible answers.
Thank you. Are you looking at the thingamajig? The screenshot?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Nice. So apparently this is them.
Oh my god, that's what he looks like?
Yeah. Well, that's what he looked
Was
like.
that
at
the same
time.
guy? Yeah, was that the same guy we just saw? I mean, I guess he looks better.
He looks younger.
Yeah, I mean,
somehow.
he looks he looks like better, I guess. But
he's trimmed his hair and started cleaning his face. That's nice. Okay, so the following call consists of Cam reaching out to FPS Diesel a year later, wants to come forward with new information about Dev and the upcoming content cop video. After this call, Cameron messages Diesel about removing his section of the video. Yeah, people are sourcing your video against me. Would you be willing to cut the stuff out about me? Oh, that's not a good thing to ask a commentary channel. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. Shortly after this message, FPS Diesel organizes a second call with Cameron.
Bad?
Oh no, it was just like a little like crackly for a second. I think what you're plugging in a mic or something, or
I think I fucked with my cord a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of been dreading this.
Yeah, I know you messaged me and then you deleted the message.
will you send me a link to this document when you're done with it?
Yeah, sure thing. It's linked in the thingamajig, the video description.
I don't know. I like. It's not. It's more so. It's just like it goes over like two things that I like. Never want to rehash.
Did Diesel make this document himself? I doubt this. I doubt that somebody else made the document for him. So probably.
Like ever.
Like the document links to resources on his channel.
I mean, how long's the document? Because he probably could have just like directed it and had several people writing.
20 pages. Yeah.
Well, one of them I took years of therapy, obviously, but the other one is just like, that was a shitty thing. Like, that was just really anxious time.
I mean, you came to me to relitigate it, really.
Yeah, I did. I don't know why. I guess I felt like I could kind of trust you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you would go out and tell people like this, thing that happened to me that I am uncomfortable with people knowing.
Yeah, there we go. That's speculatory, but I feel very confident in that. It
Did
seems
Diesel cut that from the call?
well, Diesel has agreed not to share that. Otherwise, Cam says that he'll off himself. He's like threatens if Diesel ever reveals that, or if this girl ever reveals that. I mean, something so severe that, you know, you would like base or threaten suicide if somebody were to tell somebody else.
Maybe it's like by parents or rape or something along those lines. I'd venture to guess.
I don't know if you'd feel that strongly if you were like beat by your parents. You know what I mean? I mean, this is all speculatory on like incredibly like sensitive topics. To be fair,
if you still love your parents, you might not want it getting out there.
Well, he says that he doesn't want to get out there for it, so because he doesn't want his parents to find out.
Maybe he doesn't want his parents to find out that he's revealed they abused him. I don't know.
Yeah,
like, it could be that.
That the way it's phrased. Yeah, I could buy that. I could buy that as like a plausible reason to doubt it. Yeah.
You know, I think you would understand, especially having dealt with the situation and knowing the people involved, why. Like, you know, I think, and, you know, I also, at that time, actually did want feedback on my video. Like, that was...
Yeah, I mean, your video has been successful, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I expected maybe 30K views tops. So this has been very overwhelming for sure. In a good way. Of course, you know, it got relitigated. So, but it doesn't seem to be catching much traction.
To be honest, both sides of the Ethan Hassan idub, they don't know about Yandere Dev. They don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's just a different part of the internet.
They're trying.
When was this call? After he dropped his video. So within the last few days.
Like Leftovers H3, like the Snark people, they've definitely tried. Some people have been like, "Hey, I saw this," but then like, what's funny is most of the YouTubers that they try to tell already know.
The video came out 8 days ago, and it's already doing quite well. I'd probably have to look at the video like analytics to see like when he would maybe be talking about it doing really well. I didn't expect it to get 30K, so I'm not sure.
They already know, so they don't care. They know it's like they know it's either bullshit or it's like I really wasn't a big part of that.
They know that you like worked for Dev.
Well, because I was in like the commentary space briefly for a while.
Yeah.
And a lot of them I already spoken to.
When it happened, you gave me like the story and like walk me through what actually happened based on our last call, where it's like, oh, I was being blackmailed to say that. So
what essentially happened was me and her were like getting close. That all was true. And it was very obvious to me that she liked me. Are you recording this?
Of course I am. And you should be too.
I should be, but
oh my god, this guy's
you're not going to release it?
I don't know what I'm going to do. It depends how our conversation goes.
Oh my god, dude.
Whatever.
Well, now he's not going to speak freely.
I won't go too deep. As long as
yeah, he's not going to speak freely now. At least Diesel disclosed that he was in fact, when he asked, you know, he was in fact recording the call. But it's like, oh.
Listen, I'm typically against recording people without them knowing, but if you think that they're about to give you some sort of admission to like a crime like rape, or you've reason to believe that might happen, I would not blame you for recording without telling them. And then if they don't, then you just don't release it and delete it, right?
I think in terms of like ethics, you should probably give like people a blanket kind of like, if they ask, just like kind of say.
Yeah.
But I think it's totally fine to record without necessarily immediately disclosing it, especially to somebody who's like, I don't know, another creator talking about something that's like drama involved, or, you know, the subject of like the subject of commentary, or the subject of a drama investigation that you're doing or whatever. I think that's probably fair. But yeah, it's criminal behavior. Mama Max tier cope. Should you have to disclose it? I don't know. I think it's just good practice.
As long as you don't.
I wouldn't blame you. I
put the
wouldn't.
part of-
You probably should. It is good practice. But if you thought you were about to like get an admission of rape, I would not care. If you like, I wouldn't really be too harsh.
Yeah.
If you didn't disclose it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's not like it's like attorney-client privilege, right?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's good practice. If
Right.
you're not like super good friends with somebody online, you should just always assume you're being recorded. To be honest.
That's true. Redacted for personal, for sensitive info.
Too deep. As long as you don't like
Put the part about you.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to do that.
Okay. I appreciate that. At the very least, I mean, obviously, I would be uncomfortable the conversation getting out, but I mean, whatever. Basically, we were close. We got close, and this was obviously before I knew about her past. There were times I was trying to get out of it, where like I would be like, okay, I can't handle this anymore. I need to send this. I need to prove it. I need to send some evidence that this person's malicious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would walk back on it, like out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And because as stones became more and more unturned, things got different. Now we definitely were friendly, and we definitely got close. But that was pretty short-lived. It lasted maybe a month or two. Once January hit, like we were not on good terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it obviously like
That seems to be true.
there was like she was recording everything I was saying. She got that on me. And it's not like I did anything. It's not like I'm admitting to something crazy. It's just that like that's like extremely personal that I am embarrassed of. Like I wish that never happened. And it's something I just don't want people knowing.
So when did she make that into blackmail?
I think it was around the time when, like, I think it was like later December, where like she was really getting. It felt like she was into me. She was really getting. It felt like she was into me, and I felt uncomfortable with that because I'm not gonna lie to you. At that time, I was just like really not, at that stage.
What if he's
where
gay?
I felt like
Plot
I
twist?
even want.
Why are you interested?
No, he's not my type. Well, also he's a man, but he's not my type.
Interesting. Interesting that the type was the anyway.
Wanted to get into something like that. I did feel comforted by her. Like there was definitely aspects where it felt like she was like, or like we were like toting that line. Like that's undeniable. But it was not something I wanted to pursue in any way, shape, or form. And when I made that clear to her, she seemed to have quickly snapped. A lot of jealousy came out because like I had started to talk to a girl that I liked, and she got insecure, jealous, like, and it got really dark really quickly.
Mm-hmm. So over that time,
dude, what? Okay. So his narrative is that she's like, I guess he's the one that got away for her, I guess.
You're bonding with her and you tell her, this horrible thing happened to me.
Yeah.
Well, why did you tell her that? Just because you felt comfortable?
Well, we were both talking about, these like situations because we had both just gotten out of that crazy situation, right? And then she was telling me about, things that happened to her, and she kind of pried a little bit, and it took a while, but then like we just got into a really emotional conversation. But yeah, it just kind of came out there. We were both venting to one another.
And so you didn't know, and she was recording that?
No,
she wasn't recording it. Okay.
No, I know she was recording that. I didn't know that she was.
Okay, you didn't know that she was recording it. Okay.
No.
So you guys start to have a falling out in mid-December, give or take, right?
Yeah, around there.
Okay.
It was after the last time we met
Yeah.
because things didn't go her way.
And so she comes to you and says, what about this story you tell her?
Essentially, like, the way it went, this was over a call. And I think I recorded the tail end of it. I can try to find that. But essentially, it's over call where she's like, I'm going to fucking ruin your life. You played me. You wanted this from me. You, like, I can just tell this is the way men are. It fucking, like, she knew how that story made me feel about, like, certain parts of me. She knew how insecure it made me. She knew that, like, that's something traumatic that I still deal with. And she's like, now the world knows this about me. You're gonna have to deal with it or work with me. And, like, it was like this weird backwards, I'm going to make you feel the pain I felt because you didn't reciprocate me. And that, I was like, this girl.
Is this just a claim? Like, or does he have this recorded? Because if he doesn't have this recorded, I'm really not going to be very convinced by it. He's just claiming that this is just a call that happened one time, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
He doesn't seem to have anything to substantiate it.
No. And he seems to be paraphrasing quite heavily. Just a claim? Now, I could definitely
really
believe
believe
this
them
being the
on, like,
case
anything.
of her being malicious and wanting, like, to destroy his life. If he's, like, you know, had some kind of, like, sexual encounter with her, they seem to have been, like, somewhat close, and then, I don't know, like, he's going off with another girl. I could see that all being true, and he...
Yes. The least believable part is that entire call with, like, the admission was just blackmail. Like, I have a very fucking hard time. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I have a very hard time believing that. So that on its own makes me kind of a little hesitant to, like, believe the things he says.
Does he know that this call exists? I guess is the question. Does he know that the call exists where she is talking to him and he's admitting to a lot of that? Because apparently the claim is now that she blackmailed him into, like, admitting that they had sex, or into saying that they had sex, which doesn't make sense at all, but, you know.
So when did this call drop?
This call dropped 6 hours ago.
In the Diesel video?
The Diesel video happened 2 hours ago.
Okay, so the call dropped, and then the Diesel video dropped.
Well, this isn't a drop, because this came from the Google Drive, or the Google Doc, which dropped with the video. It was in the description.
Okay. Got it.
And then she would have moments of humanity where she would feel bad, walk it back, want to make a public statement, and then it would go right back. Like, BPD type shit, you know what I mean?
Oh my god, it's not sounding good.
And I was just terrified.
She sounds BPD, but coming from him, it doesn't sound
good. Fuck. Yeah. It's not something I'm just... It sounds silly talking about it, like I'm so terrified about it coming out, but to me, like, that coming out, what happened, it would be like a game ender for me.
Well, even if he didn't do it, just to be clear,
that's how it felt to me.
Even if he didn't do it, right? It's still, to know that those allegations are out there about you, like, I totally, like, would understand, like, him panicking over it and sending that message to Diesel, even if he was, like, innocent.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's 20, he's fucking young. Like, you don't really know how to deal with these things if somebody was making a fake allegation against you that somebody could reasonably believe. So, like, even if he didn't do it, he would still be panicking.
Yeah. Yeah, I could get that. Just the call kind of seals his fate, I feel like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing for me that makes him sus as fuck.
It beggars belief just to think that call happened and he's acting along the entire time. It just doesn't make sense. I think it's not even worth considering.
So, do you have this on hand, or
I can look for it?
Oh, okay.
I haven't touched it since I recorded it.
So he
I'll
might
to
have the
find
call
it.
recorded.
I'll look right now.
Yeah, I can wait.
I know there was a point, but I think it was before this, where she forced me to like delete recordings of her admitting to her past.
Her back.
I just don't know where in the timeline that happened. I believe it was after, but you're gonna have to bear with me because it has.
Yeah, take your time. You got me until like 11, so I'm just eating my dinner right now. So
okay. Let's start searching cyber folders because I feel like this.
I think Lumpy Willie makes a really good point. I was saying, I think Lumpy Willie makes like a really good point in chat about this. I appreciate his analysis.
C. Samron. That is a pretty good name, actually.
Yeah.
Ripped off C. Sam Nuggets, I guess. Okay, I'm going to start flicking through and see when they actually start doing discussions.
Fuck, man. Where's the shit? Shit that she like was trying to do to me. They didn't know that specifically the blackmail, what it was about, my story, anything like that.
Do we have
here
a
it
call
is.
yet?
Here's the folder. Oh, but that ends in September.
Oh.
That was when I was recording Alex. December is gaming. Videos that I never released. Was deleted.
So
That's unfortunate.
that was over like a conversation where she was like, delete this, delete this, delete this.
She showed me the first call she showed me was when we were discussing what people were saying online about us.
You're getting too big for your boots.
Yo.
The famous in regards to the idea call. And then the second thing is she's like, I'll drop this. And the second thing was that because there was the first call was very early on. It was like early October-ish when I talked about that with her. It had to be.
So you're saying she threatened you with blackmail in like October?
No, December. The blackmail was recorded. I mean, in October.
Okay.
Me. Wait. No.
Like saying you're blackmail. Like what was happening in that call then?
What I remember, like from the recording, I was like, "You're blackmailing me. That's your prerogative. You're just trying to blackmail me." And in her eyes, I was blackmailing her before because I had all these calls of her admitting shit.
Huh?
Blackmailception?
Like what?
Wait, so they were okay, so they were blackmailing each other because he had all this
Sounds like a
all of
healthy
these
relationship.
calls of shit. I mean, it's not a healthy relationship because she's 16.
Oh, that she had multiple girls that they were honeypotting essentially, but she was also trying to twist it as if she was just being a kid.
Yeah.
You know what every child does.
Oh, okay. So what she's talking about is apparently he had evidence of her admitting to honeypotting like potential pedophiles to extort them for money, which apparently is something that she used to do / still does. Weird. Didn't Himpleton get extorted? Does they have this girl added on Discord? Probably interesting to see.
Right.
It happens all the time, man.
And I thought that was sick. And I recorded that, and I lied and said I hadn't sent it to anybody, which wasn't true.
Yeah, because you sent it to me.
Yeah. And among other ones that she also made me delete. Those weren't as bad, but the reason I didn't send those to you is because they detailed abuse that she went through, and I felt bad. But yeah, that was essentially like, you're blackmailing me. Why would you do that? Because you blackmailed me. A type of, regurgitation, and I was also kind of like teary-eyed while this was happening, so like I had a shaky voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because you also got to remember that at the time, like, we were on fine terms. Like,
yeah, she was pissed that you had sent it to me and that information had gotten back to her because I was asking people about it.
Yeah. And she was like, she felt I betrayed her, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also right after she learned I was talking to a girl.
Yeah.
And it was just a really scary experience.
Mm-hmm.
I understand if you're uncomfortable with taking my word for it.
Oh my god.
I understand if you don't want to make any edit or retraction. That's fine. I get it. I'm not gonna think you're a shitty person. That's your prerogative.
Well, he said he didn't
I'm
do
telling
it.
you
So.
Yeah, you know. Listen, I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't, like, just take my word for this. Oh my god. Oh, that's so rough to even bring that up as a possibility. Of course he can't take your word for it, dude. Oh, man.
This mainly because it's kind of a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And because I feel like that call that we had after that group chat, she was blowing me up. Because she was trying to call me, saying, don't say a word, don't say a word, type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was scared I had to go through with what she wanted. She wanted that to be a narrative because she wanted to destroy my life.
The text chats that we had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, I don't record myself doing that kind of stuff. Like, I never have. The internet is. I was growing up on the Internet Forever archive thing, you know, like, and I had friends whose their Snapchat got hacked like throughout high school, and you know, I just didn't want to deal with that in the future.
We'll circle back around to that, but I know on April 14th of 2024 you put out the joint statement with the r/Osana mods, right?
Yeah.
What was going on in those calls? Were you just giving your side of the story?
Yeah, I gave all my evidence with Crexa.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. It ended up being like a 12-hour call.
Yeah, they said it was a total of like 30 hours. I don't know if they were embellishing or anything.
It came down to that. It was multiple days.
Yeah.
Where they were like harshly. I felt like I was being interrogated.
And
like harshly.
When did those calls
Very
start? Because they
harshly.
put it out the 14th, but obviously you guys started talking a little before that, right?
It was like it was that same week.
That's so
For
that
sure.
the whole week of the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like the reason that they understood, I told them like that, like my side of things would actually happen, but I withheld some personal details, and I withheld some of the things that I was scared of coming up because I didn't want, that person to see it and feel vindicated and releasing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So over the course of those 6 days, maybe a little less, like 5 days, you'd say?
Yeah, I'd say 5 or 6. Yeah,
5 or 6
probably.
days. Okay. So over that course of time, I'm guessing you gave them the audio clip about the and the clip that.
Wait,
and that was
the
from a call you had a
CSAM
dev,
clip?
right?
That's in relation to this jelly person, like I said earlier. They're like a victim of
Okay, don't spoil it. I'll cover it tomorrow. Actually.
Yandere Dev. And that's how he got in contact with her, right? And so she sent him CSAM and had like communications with him to that effect. Okay.
How long has this person fucking been online? The 16-year-old.
16 years. It sounds like since he was very, very young. It sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's bleak.
And that was because, well, I didn't feel comfortable holding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried taking action beforehand.
When did Dev tell you those things?
I will have to take a look. I remember it because I was playing Minecraft when it happened. So
Well, it had to have been before you officially left the project, quote unquote. So that
no, it wasn't. It was a little after.
was a little after. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was still under contract, but I, left.
Mm.
And this was me ending the friendship.
Yeah, and he was being upfront with you about that.
Yeah.
and-
It was okay. So this was in October.
So it was in October when he told you that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
October 22nd. So that was me like ending the friendship, and like I started off trying to like be like, hey, yada yada yada, like I want to like figure this all out, what's going on, because at this point I had heard everything from her. I had heard like, everything that happened, and I was extremely uncomfortable with it. And then I had heard that he was lying to me about sysfs, and that struck a hardcore. Like I was, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Because that was one of like the.
So Yandere Dev told Cameron he was a. Well, apparently Cam is coming forward now with like new evidence that he's had, presumably this entire time about Yandere Dev. Yeah. Well,
reasons
he didn't tell him that he was a groomer, but Cam knew, right? To the point where Yandere Dev was saying to this girl about like sending him lewds, and Cam is in call with Diesel at the time when he's making his video prior, saying like, well, technically, that could just mean like, like softcore hentai. Like, it's not necessarily like he doesn't have to be asking for like lewds of her, But yeah.
Good argument.
But I felt so bad for him for a while because I thought like, man, this guy's been like slandered heavily, and very naive of me at the time.
Maybe Yandere Dev groomed him
that's
too.
something I defended him over and thought, it was the right thing to do. And he had also, in that same call, admitted that to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure I could probably find it, but I don't know. Listening to it back is something still difficult. Listening to any recordings from that time is extremely difficult. I'm sure you understand. Like, that sucked. Everything about that sucked. And I was in a very bad spot.
Eek.
So
Well, I guess
tells you
we can
this
forgive him then.
in October.
Yeah, that rubs me the wrong way.
And around that time,
Kind of like your uncle.
We you and I have a call about.
Pardon?
I didn't say anything. Huh? Why'd you pause?
You leave my uncle out of this.
About Jelly. And that's where you tell me about her doing all these honeypots.
Yeah. Because at that point we were like friends.
When you're baiting pedos, you're not
had-
supposed to use a real minor as bait.
Well, tell Abby MC. But no, the honeypots. It seems like when they were honeypotting Yandere Dev, it sounds like it was adults using an actual minor to like bait him. But with her, it sounds like she was doing stuff with other minors to try and honeypot predators, like extort them for money. So she's got like a whole like network of her own. So the honeypotting stuff is stuff that she's doing on her own, to like blackmail people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very weird stuff.
Gotten close, so I was like, I got what I wanted. I'm done.
Yeah, and she told you that.
Yeah.
So there were rumors about it before, and so you were trying to fish that out of her in your calls?
Yeah. But the hard thing about that at the time, and I stand on this still, is that she like, she's obviously like manipulator, big manipulator. But you know, I'd kind of like also kind of fallen for like the idea that this was more so abuse and less her being malicious. Obviously, in hindsight, definitely incorrect.
Yeah, I'm certain they're not mutually exclusive. So
No, I know she was abused for sure, but she also knew full well exactly what she was doing.
So yeah, a lot of our calls then were about Jelly and
Yeah.
you know, all of that. And so you
I
know,
also said a lot of shit in those calls that was really distasteful.
when
And now he's trying to walk him back.
so you had Yandere Dev admitting to these things
Yeah.
for a while. How come you never gave any of that to me?
At the beginning, I just was very kind of in shock, to say the least. This, you got to remember, like, not only was
The
I
shock
friends
didn't
with this
wear
guy,
off
but
after a
I
year.
essentially grown up, like, during our friendship. So this was someone I looked up to, had a close relationship with, and you know, I cared about. I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. I spent like a week or two pondering on what I'm gonna do. I sent it to his local, you know, police station. I figured out how I could do that.
He sent it to his local Yandere Dev's local police station, but was too afraid to send it to Diesel IRL. Okay.
And waited for results and figured that would be the best route. That way, because like for some reason I didn't want him knowing that I did something disloyal.
Well,
which
you knew at the time that I had open communication with the FBI, which is why I'm curious why you didn't send it to me.
I totally forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie. I until you just brought it up, I don't know exactly why I didn't tell you. I think I was again scared of being disloyal in a weird way, but I also did send it to cops. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just because when you sent me the smoking gun call clip, as we'll call it, right? You know, and rightfully, I don't regret a single thing I did with my coverage of Jelly whatsoever. People felt that I was, you know, very problematic, but
they can fucking,
you know, me having that and not the other thing made Dev out to be more of a victim than he was. You realize that, right?
I do, and I regret it now in hindsight.
It's easy to say
at the
now,
time,
I suppose.
I can't say I was thinking very rationally. And I admit that, and I take full accountability that I should have probably sent it to you.
And I realize, and her name is, I realize she's an unreliable narrator, but in our group chat, she accuses you of asking for that audio so that way you could run ops and make Dev out to be more of a victim.
What?
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
I can pull it up.
Oh, you know what? I think I do.
Oh.
That was a part of the overall blackmail narrative. She was...
Do you remember that? No. I think I can pull it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Simultaneously still in love with Alex. So she wanted me to also go to bat for him and like protect him a little bit. And make myself look worse, make him look a little better. Yeah. Do you remember that?
Who's Alex? That's Yandere Dev.
I'm looking through my notes right now.
What do you plan to do with this audio?
Oh, the questions.
I don't know yet.
Oh my god. It's 35 minutes in and all you can seem to think about is the fact that the audio is there. Can you give me a TLDR of your feelings thus far? About what specifically? I feel like Cam's probably like dead to rights guilty. The jelly girl seems like manipulative, or seems to lie quite like easily and doesn't really think too much about it. And Diesel, I do not envy his task. He seems to be having like a good faith kind of interaction, going through trying to like suss it all out. But this is like a clusterfuck around like a mix between who used to be Yandere Dev's biggest like supporter and defender and like PR agent, and then Yandere Dev's accuser and the wider like Yandere Dev like A-log community. It's a clusterfuck. It's a complete clusterfuck. But it does seem probable that yeah, Cam probably did girl. And yeah, might be rape. Who knows? Well,
but what if he says
legally.
he's really sorry and won't do it again?
With a pinky promise, I'd take that. I'd take that.
Good man.
If he comes to VidCon and like, you know, gives me one of those.
You know, honestly, like even talking to you is probably against better judgment. But I think I do appreciate you because you are definitely pretty thorough. And
trying to suck
I oddly
up to
feel
him.
more comfortable telling this to you because you've been there throughout like the whole roller coaster.
I mean, yeah, this was a half a year of my life.
Yeah. And even prior, like you saw how me and him were close, shooting the shit, joking about like, what was it, like Nikocado? I tried my hardest to get you that interview. I mean, you got one, didn't you?
I mean,
eventually.
Under false pretenses. Technically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm 36 minutes and 38 seconds into the video. I think now it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. Maybe he's just going to completely ignore it, but I don't think he can. He doesn't seem like the kind of person who can. Okay.